We're continuing lesson 3-6, solving equations with rational numbers. Our first example is n plus 2/7 equals negative 3/7. N has had 2/7 added to it, so we're going to have to subtract 2/7 to get rid of that, and we need to do that same thing on both sides. So plus 2/7 and minus 2/7, that goes away. Now it's n plus 0, or just plain old n. We're going to put down that n, bring down that equal sign, and then we have to evaluate negative 3/7 minus 2/7, and that equals negative 5/7. N equals negative 5/7. Okay, our next example is y minus 1/6 equals 2/3. In order to get y by itself, we're going to have to add 1/6. Whatever we do to one side, we have to do to the other side. So we're going to add 1/6 over here also. That leaves us with y over here, and then our equal sign. For the most part in this lesson, I'm assuming you know how to do the computation, but I am going to show you this one. 2/3 plus 1/6. Notice that the denominators are different, so we have to get common denominator. If you count by 3s and 6s, you will come to 6 in both of those. That's our least common denominator. This is multiplied by 1. This is multiplied by 2 over 2, which gives us 4/6. When we add that up, we are going to get 5/6. Y equals 5/6. Okay, 5/6 x plus equals 5/8. Here the 5/6 has been multiplied by the x. In order to undo multiplication by a fraction, what we do is multiply by its reciprocal. So we're going to multiply both sides times 6/5. 6/5 times 5/6 cancels out. It makes 1, or 1x. So that's just x. Bring down the equal sign. And then we have to evaluate this. You should already know how to cancel. And you see a 5 on the top and a 5 on the bottom. Those cancel out. 6 and 8 share a common factor of 2. So that cancels down to 3 and 4. Then you do numerator times numerator is 3. Denominator times denominator is 4. So x equals 3/4. If you wanted to check that, you could copy your original problem, plug in the answer for the variable. 5/6 times 3/4 equals 5/8. Again, you can do some canceling here. 5 times 1 is 5, 2 times 4 is 8. 5/8 indeed does equal 5/8. So you've proved that you have your correct answer. Here's a problem for you to try. So go ahead and pause, work it out, and then check your answer. Okay, next one is y minus 1/2 equals 3/4. We're going to add 1/2 to both sides. Going to reorient. Actually, let's go ahead and have you work this one by yourself and pause the video and come back for checking the problem. And your answer is 1 1/4. Here's one more for you to try on your own. Go ahead and pause and come back for the answer. And x equals 16/19. All right, let's do a word problem. Mr. Rios wants to prepare a casserole that requires 2.5 cups of milk. If he makes the casserole, he will have only 3/4 of a cup of milk left for his breakfast cereal. How much milk does Mr. Rios have? I'm hoping that you can figure out that this is really basically an addition problem. He's going to use 2.5 cups of milk, plus he's going to have 3/4 of a cup of milk left. So you can just go ahead and do your fraction addition, which you already know how to do. However, a lot of times with this type of a problem, they're really looking for you to write an equation where you do not have the variable already by itself. So really, what they want you to do here is say X is the amount of milk that Mr. Rios has. It's usually right here in the question part, how much milk does he have? And then he's going to use 2.5 cups of milk, and he's going to be left with 3/4 of a cup of milk. So then you're going to have to add 2.5 to both sides. This goes away, leaving you with X equals, and then you would have to add that up, which you'll need a common denominator for that, so it's going to be 4 3/4 plus 2 2/4, which is going to give you 5/4 here. 2 5/4 equals 3 1/4. So he has 3 1/4 cups to begin with. And I know that seems more complicated than just doing the addition problem, but it's a good mental exercise to be able to come up with that equation.